Hi again, folks. In this video, I want to discuss Alex Tuch. Coming up. Okay, I thought it's about time I do a video on Tuch because Tuch has been nothing but impressive since he's got here. And he's walked in and he's filled the shoes of Jack very well as a leader. Okay, I'm not going to say in talent because Jack is more talented, but Tuch is obviously what Jack couldn't be as a leader. He really has it, this guy, I find, on the ice. I find he holds himself well. I find with the media, he acts like our captain. There's no ego. You can tell in this guy, he's a real team guy. I was so impressed when Quinn scored his first goal, and Krebs, how he reacted, especially with Quinn. He looked like we won the Stanley Cup when Quinn got his first goal, remember? I mean, to me, that was impressive, guys. I was very impressed with this guy. I think it's time that we look at making this guy captain, really. I know it might be a little too soon. I don't think so. He's obviously a leader. This guy's obviously a leader. He's a Sabre. He loves the Sabres, you know, like even when he was, Golden Knight, he still probably was rooting on the Sabres secretly, who knows, right? I mean, except when he plays us. But this guy seems to have all the characteristics of a great leader. And I'm not surprised. I thought he would, coming over in this deal. I really thought that we were getting a good leader, not just a power forward, a good leader. You can see it. Just even when he scored yesterday, there was no like overreaction about it. He was just like signaling to him basically what a pass, you know, that kind of thing. The guy makes things happen when he's on the ice. And he's also not scared to play both sides of the game. You know this. I mean, we see it. He's not scared to go in the corners and any of that stuff. He plays it all. He does it all, this guy. This is definitely our best leader I've seen here in a long time, really. And that's counting Jack. I never seen Jack as much of a leader, guys. I just didn't. I seen him as our best player, but I didn't see him as one of those guys that can uplift a team. He never had it in him. He just didn't. This guy does. What I've seen already. This guy does. This guy's had it like the first game he played almost. Like this guy's had it since he started here. And he's averaging a little bit more, 12 points, 11 games, right? So it's not his points, not his goals, you know, but it's his demeanor on the ice. He reminds me a little bit of Jason Arnott for some of you fans that might know him. I mean, I know the younger fans might not know him. He reminds me a bit of Jason Arnott, his style of play. He reminds me of him, you know. This was the type of guy I wanted the Sabres to really go after back in 2007. I wanted Jason Arnott on this team and Chara. I thought those would be the two missing pieces to winning a Stanley Cup in 07. When we had the big team and we instead went out and did other moves and stuff that I disagreed with, I thought we should have went after Chara and Jason Arnott back then. This guy reminds me kind of a Jason Arnott type guy, really. He's that big power forward. He seems to, you know, he gets his face dirty when he has to. He's not scared of that, you know, and he plays the whole game. He plays it all. He plays 200-foot game, this guy. Now, are we ready for a captain? Yeah. I mean, I don't believe if we're not thinking of putting him captain, then who? You know, who else is there? There's nobody. And no, please don't go with Okposo and Girgensons, please, no. They're good guys, but this guy, there's something about him, you know? I will give Okposo, though, a huge credit this year. The way he flipped 360 into this guy that, you know, that he was supposed to be when we got him in a deal. He really turned into this guy this year. It's weird. But this year, he really, I think he took on more responsibility when Jack left and all that. He knew Jack was gone and, like, the kids needed some mentorship, right? But getting Tuch on the team has added a whole element that we have not seen, guys, in a long time. Really, we have not seen something like this in a long time on this team, at least a decade. I can't think of the last guy. I mean, it was to the point we had certain guys as captain, like Pominville. There was guys that just really weren't captains we put as captain. But this guy, he plays that rough and tough style, which I think a captain should, you know. Or you put a defenseman, you put a burly defenseman as your leader also. Not the finesse guys. The finesse guys are not leaders. They're the talent, but they're not the leaders. The leaders of the team are the guys in the dressing room that you might be better than me on the ice, but you're scared as hell of me when I'm in the dressing room. You know, that kind of guy. And that's, but he's like still one of our best players too. So this guy's doing it all right now. I really think we should put this guy as captain. This thing about waiting and oh, well, we got to see. And like, no, I would just put him. We got to start being fearless at some point as a franchise, right? And start making decisions. You know, I would do the right thing though. If I was the coach, I would sit down Jurgensen's and Okposo and tell them what you're thinking, what we're thinking, him and Adams, let's say, you know, and see how they feel about it, just how they feel. Do the right thing. Sit them down, talk to them. I'm sure they'd be good with it. I'm positive. These guys are leaders too. So, but this guy is the leader, I think, of the team now already. Didn't take long to sell me, guys. Really didn't take long. So I think we should go that route. That's really what the video is about. I think we should make this guy the captain, really. I think it'd be the proper call. He has that thing about him that's just likable also. Meanwhile, equally intimidating. You know, he has that thing about him. He has that thing, that aura about him that, you know, he's the type of guy that I could see him in the dressing room, like, you know, especially become a better player once the C's put on him. He'd feel more obligated. And one last thing I want to throw out there, what about us looking at him playing center? Just an idea that's been rolling in my head. I seen how we transformed Thompson, being a big guy too, you know? And I mean, he's not as big as him, he's taller, but he's not as big and strong as him. But still, it's really worked for Thompson, right? So Thompson's like, what, 7'8", 8'9", and he's, it really worked. And so I'm wondering, I think it would work if we tried it. I'm curious if they might even think about trying it, you know? And then you could have Krebs on his wing. There's a lot of possibilities here. I just would like to see them try a few things before the year's out, since we can use the rest of the year almost as a practice, really. But it would be kind of cool to check it out and see, you know, and see how he reacts at center. He's a big guy. He could cover space. He could cover the area better too and everything. I just think it might work. Just my thoughts, guys, on this, really. You know, I would like to try something different with him. I mean, he's working so far, so of course I don't want to mess with what's working, but what if it worked with him as a center also, you know? My crazy thoughts of the day, guys. My crazy thoughts of the day. All right, so tonight I'll see you guys again in the post game, as long as it's not too late. I'm going to wrap it up there, and I will let you guys tell me your thoughts on these ideas with Tuch, because I don't know. Try him at center, give him the C. What do you think? All right, guys. See you in the next one.